but it's also uh, easier to kill. But because the situation was in that game, supposedly the magic was more threatening, but the Star-Lord was doing better overall. He was actually the MVP of the enemy team, and I tried to focus the Star-Lord, but because Star-Lord has such high mobility, it was quite hard to focus, to track. In that situation, should I keep focusing the Star-Lord or should I focus the magic?
Honestly, all of it depends on what kind of tank you play. What tank you played against the Star-Lord?
In that game, Emma and the other tank was Magneto.
I would say in Mag, are you okay at dealing with Star-Lord? With
Mhm.
Emma, it will be much harder, in my opinion. I think it's just, if you're really able to catch them, then sure. If not, then probably focusing on the targets would be good. But it's all your judgment. You just need to judge based on the picture right now. Who is the most active person on the enemy team? What you can deal with? Yeah, what's more killable? And should be good, I think. Overall, Star-Lord can be okay to deal with if you're on Mag, but yeah, on Emma might be pretty tough overall, it feels.
Okay.
It's gonna be usually whenever you play some sort of mob roll-ish tank, there's gonna be more difficult for you to deal with divers. The way you deal with them is mostly by holding space, just not allowing them to pursue and take angles if you can. Kind of holding the chokes. If there's a good choke where you can hold where, they have to walk through in order to take angles, that might be okay. If not, then I think it's not your problem. You can just basically do your own thing, try to trade the backlines, try to make sure you go after less mobile targets, and we'll be okay, to be honest.
Okay.
But with Poke, there's definitely more flexibility. And with Dive Tank too, of course. If you run something like Venom, sure, your space can change quite frequently. What kind of space you're gonna be going after. Stuff like
Yeah.
that, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could potentially review, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean that game was I actually tried to watch the game after that, and it was in my opinion it's not worth it to both review that game. It, on the first on the enemy team started on attack, and it was a snowball pretty much the whole round. We were super staggered for the first 2 points, and then actually when it was our moment to attack, we kind of started to do a lot better. But ultimately, they had a much better ult rotation, and overall the better players.
Makes
It was
sense.
a team diff, as they say.
Yeah, yeah. That can happen. Just making sure that you perceive this as a still okay kind of match for you mentally, and going forward, if it's not gonna affect you mentally, I think it should be alright, to be honest. It's just the lose streaks can happen sometimes. There might be off days, good days at the same time, so just keep that in mind and adjust your focus, and should be all
Yeah,
good.
actually, related to that, I was I wanted to ask because I remember that you mentioned something similar when in one of your how to fix your aim videos. When do you know that you are going into a losing streak? Uh, when do you think it's a good time to stop? Even if you know that you think that you are playing okay.
I think most of it should be judged by are you able to actually focus on the game right now? Because the thing is, you still might have an off day, but even during off day, if we keep our attention on something what's consistent, just sort of improving at some sort of goal, making sure you get better at it, then it will be okay. Yeah, you might lose a little bit more, but honestly, kind of focusing on that sort of stuff is always viable. You can also try to adjust with the goals, make sure those are not too comprehensive. Just keep focusing on the fundamentals, make sure that you focus on the simple things, and I think it will go better. If you really find that the game is affecting you, like your focus is gonna go low and it will be decreasing, then it might be okay to just take a break. I usually have that rule where you take a break after 2 or 3 losses, no matter what. Just small break, 15 minutes, you do something else, and then you can come back to the game, so you fully recharge your mental this way. I think I would keep it this way. It's just, if you recognize that all those games, because you have a bad day and you also have really low focus, and because of it you're not able to focus on any of the goals, regardless of how simple those are, then maybe you can stop, I think. But if you're able to, then you can keep going, I think.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, this is how I would usually say it, to be honest, because obviously for every player it's different, but just recognizing, am I focused enough, am I calm enough as well, and it should be okay overall. And there are things which can influence you being calm and just being focused, but if this is not possible, then probably stopping would be the good solution.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, stuff like that. Is there anything else?
Well, outside of the games that I sent you, I think that's all. If something else comes to mind, I'll definitely ask.
Yeah, sounds good. I see that you sent me 2 games, but I remember that we mostly wanted to focus on the Magneto, if I'm not mistaken. Is it something what you want to do for the most part today, or is there anything else what you have in mind?
Yeah, I think since if I remember correctly, we never went through Magneto gameplay, so we could focus on the Magneto gameplay, and if we have time, maybe you can go over the Emma the Emma game that I sent you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good. You know, what I'm thinking is maybe let's just spend around 5 minutes, really. Just skim through the second game. Let's see how the shield management is, how this positioning is as well, using corners. We kind of talked about let the enemy pass, cross the line, and then after that we can mostly talk about the Magneto. And if we have time, let's just dive in into the ammo more in depth. Does it sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, then let's start with this one. Can you see the stream?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect.
I think. Oh no, that's the Emma gameplay.
Yeah. Like I said, is it okay if we just skim through 5
Oh
minutes?
yeah. Okay. I misinterpret.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just gonna be quickly. I'm not gonna talk about everything too much. I'm just gonna basically skip, and this is how you can review all the time. Just watching whatever your shield placement looks like, how you position your corners. That's it. So far, yeah, read it in the corner. Not using the shield right now, I think makes sense. Using the crystal there. Okay, just kind of going aggressive. Sure, maybe you can even speed it up a little bit. Yeah. Notice that your teammates are getting picked off, so you gotta be careful. This shield is good. Allowed you to get a kill there too. Okay, perfect. And then after that, just gonna skip a little bit. Oh well.
I think this first point was the hardest of the whole attack. I think if I remember correctly, we were pretty staggered for the most part.
Yeah, the magic seems pretty oppressive there, right?
Yeah.
Let me see also what you mentioned so far. You think that this game was a clear dominant of the lobby, who played your life really well, even when we were getting snowball in the first point on attack. I think that my shield management's pretty decent, but sometimes it felt like I was getting unnecessary damage. when it comes to problems, sometimes it gets difficult to bait someone into that line that we talked about, and I'm not too sure how you do it. Last point on attack, I think I was really aggressive, maybe because I had Luna Snowflake, and I'm not too sure if that's something that you really want to do. Makes sense, makes sense. I think if you're able to deal with the magic for the most part, it's gonna be pretty okay. The other guy is gonna be difficult to deal with. It's just gonna be more walking forward. If there's anyone who is available, might be Emma Frost, might be there's Adam, might be Gambit. You can go after them. But this is really good shield placement there. Yeah, I really see that you've been working on that. Just not out in the open, kind of helping yourself to hold the corner where we want to be. This is great. Okay. Now again, building the pressure, shield slider more forward can be okay if you guys making it through the corner here. Recognize that we gotta stabilize, sure. Yeah, at this point, again, just need a little bit more stabilization. Shield is gonna be okay here. Ultron's using ultimate, sure, going back. Yeah, let's skip a little bit. Ultron's dead, nice, okay. Keep walking forward, deal with the magic too. Yeah, this is good, really. If you can predict, because I think the magic, they don't have too many things to escape you. Besides the dash, obviously there's the teleport too, but if they use that, I think there's quite easy target for you to deal with. Sometimes you can even be pushing them early if you know where the angle is. On someone like Star-Lord, I think it's going to be more complicated, because they have a lot of verticality. Yeah, shield management definitely seems better. The corners seems better. I know that lobby and just overall the game might seem a little bit difficult here for whatever reason, but anyway. I think there's a lot of good stuff. Okay. Now time to remove the shield. Sure, walk forward. Crystal, and now you guys hopefully can make it through. I think all the enemy teams stacked up together on the main now, so we can keep walking forward. Sure, got the Venom too. Yeah, looking good. Okay. Now we just gotta wait around the choke most of the time, I think. This is the most important, really. Maybe even poke there early. If the ammo uses shield like that, that's the mistake by them. You can just poke out the shield and they're not able to walk forward. So you see, yeah, exactly. A lot of damage on them.
Yeah, something that I usually try to do is if they are trying to walk through the choke, through that doorway, if they overextend a little bit, I try to place the shield behind them so I can block heals.
It can be the case, yeah. Just make sure that they cross in the line first, and it's pretty good, really, I think. Most of the people, they don't even think about placing the shield like that, like I described, so this is pretty good. Can take advantage of that. Well, what about the second point? Mostly holding around the second choke, I believe, but let's see how everything will play out. Okay, we got... well, yes. The angle on the right might be scarier. Yeah, sure, there's Venom. Maybe even can destroy this early. I'm a shield too, that's okay. Hold in the corner. Patient with shield. If the enemies will walk through, then we have our own shield in here. Yeah, this one slightly... well, we have Luna Snow, so it's not too bad, yeah. I think if you have Luna Snow ultimate up like this, might be placing the shield towards that corner. Yeah, sure, you guys should be fine. Yeah, there's quite a lot of space we got. Hey, Cloak and Daggers in the back line, Ultron gets a pick. Can't do much about the Ultron for the most part too, to be honest. Okay, now they swap to the Punisher even, yeah? Okay. Playing this, sure. Okay, walking forward. This is fine. Did I place the shield there too? Let's see. Just a small thing probably, but still worth it. Just place the shield first, and then after that we can go in a diamond form. Wait, I think we pop the diamond form right away, if I'm not mistaken, right? There's just something to keep an eye on, I think. Still not too bad, because might be brawling here. Okay. I mean, overall, pretty decent with the shield, I think. Just, obviously, there still might be things we can tweak, but There's a lot of good stuff, to be honest, compared to how we used the shield before. Would take a lot of poke, and that would be difficult. So yeah, definitely good improvements. That's good to see. All right, I think it's good if we just watch the first replay fully, and then after that, if we have
Okay.
time, let's go back to this replay. Does it sounds good with you?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, then let's exit the replay. And I'm also gonna read the notes too. We've got this here, House Heaven. Yeah, is there anything else what stands out besides the notes? Is there anything else what you want to mention? Just general kind of points for the Magneto. What do you feel like your struggle is?
Mm, yeah, it's well, I'm trying. Well, one of the things that I'm trying to improve is I'm trying to practice the one-shot combo. So left click, shift, left click with Magneto, so I can get more kills.
Oh yeah.
So because that's something that sometimes I struggle with. With Magneto, I think now that you can you can have two bubbles, maybe I get a little bit too confident with the with that, because in my head I think, okay, I can bubble, let's say, my magic, and then I can bubble myself. Wrong Magneto, by the way.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for some reason I just skipped to the other guy. Okay, yeah, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's maybe because we haven't gone through a Magneto gameplay before. I'm not as used to going through the other concepts as with Strange, Venom, or Emma. But overall, I think it's pretty much as I said in the notes, that either I play really aggressive with Magneto or really passive, trying to protect the backline, playing bodyguard, and things like that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What about your bubble management? How do you usually use your bubbles for the most part? What are you looking for?
So depends on, well, obviously depends on the situation. But for example, if I know that I have a magic in this case, I'm trying to keep an eye on the magic, and if I can, I'll try to bubble her, so so I can enable more potential kills, or at least more survivability.
Oh yeah.
If not, and we have two poke characters, let's say Punisher and Bucky, I'll try to use it to protect the Punisher in his ult, or maybe Bucky when he's trying to ult and going into the enemy team, things like that. Or maybe I'll use my bubble to save my other tank if they are if they are absorbing a lot of damage and the healers are not able to heal them in time. Things like that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Because I think on Magneto, the bubble management is such a big thing, and you're definitely right with the targets. Just maybe it's gonna be the magic, maybe even Iron Fist as well. Sometimes can be Emma, and I think the timing of it is what's really important. And just when we use that, and I think another thing is just the targets. It's just the target we're choosing for. And it's all about the context, really. It, kind of like we talked about general target priority. This is how you're going to be thinking about the bubbles overall. But yeah, let's watch a little bit. I'm curious to see how this fight is going to go. And then we can talk about a few things. Okay, we see that there's not much the space. This
So,
guy...
okay, for example, in that moment, that angle that I was holding, is it okay? Because in that specific moment, I was thinking, I want try to kill the one of the healers, or maybe the Moon Knight that it's playing behind the tanks with the healers, or should I be trying to absorb more damage with the Emma?
Well, to be honest, again, you don't have to be forced to. You sort of do the same thing like we talked about with Emma or any other tank. You just do it from different range. You hold your good position, and because you've been threatening towards an enemy, hopefully they will focus you if you have good enough proactive spot, and then you can use your own defensive on yourself first of all, and then second, you can also use your defensive on anybody who is being active right now, who is under the pressure right now. So this spot is okay, honestly. If you're able to do a decent amount of damage, that's okay. Just afterwards, we gotta recognize when somebody does things. Yeah, like we see, oh, this guy has been working on us. Let me see also this, what's been... Yeah, so this is the shield on your Emma. And then we also have this... Yeah, this guy is actively going in. Now, let's see, we have our second bubble. Okay, we use it on ourselves here. Sure, sure. And then the shield comes second. Yeah, it's just so important because the shield's also enabling a little bit more offensive pressure. You can regenerate your stacks. I think it's just gonna be quite important. How do we synchronize that overall? Yeah, let's keep watching. I think maybe, okay, we can maybe talk about this first bubble, first of all. Just talk about the targets, just talk about the timing, and then we can start from there. I think that's gonna be always a good thing to fix on the Magneto. So, for example, now, there are two phases you need to keep an eye on. Mostly, it's just the easiest way to describe it. We have the poke phase and we have the brawl phase. The poke phase is usually the time when both teams are really far from each other, and you can spend this time to maybe do a little bit more poke damage, kind of sow the stacks. Maybe you can use bubble on somebody, hopefully they get damaged, and then after that, you get into this brawl phase, and this is where the timing of the bubble is the most important. The problem with those control points, in my opinion, is that because both teams are going towards each other, you don't have too much time to use the bubble in the poke phase, like we're trying to do it now, sort of. You see that the enemy team, they might be just walking a little bit more. Yeah, they might be just taking a little bit more space, and there's potential for you to enable somebody doing this way. So I'm thinking, if we keeping an idea of let's bubble active teammate. Yeah, let's just bubble active teammate. Is this Emma? Are they active enough right now to make sure the bubble is on them?
No, because right now they are poking the Magneto, if I'm not mistaken, and the enemy Moon Knight is not gonna be able to do enough damage to threaten Emma.
Exactly, exactly. And that's how you need to look at it, I think. It's just like we talked about with activity. It's always based on, first of all, HP of the target. It's just anybody who takes a lot of damage, I think you need to keep an eye on them. Another thing is position. And positioning is going to be your preference to try to enable angles first. Anybody who's being an off angle, like this guy's personally, if there's Iron Fist and Magic, potentially there's a bigger chance that those guys can do more damage. And because they're doing more damage, they might receive more pressure from the enemy team. And this is something what we want to enable first. And if there's no angles, if we're not enabling off angles, then you can shift your attention towards the front line a little bit more. I think, in this case, you will see that, okay, we bubbled Emma, but then after that, and usually if you notice, there's a great opportunity for you to use the bubble, then I think then we need to think about it. Like, for example, now, you see that, oh, Iron Fist is, oh, sorry, our Magic is totally in. Maybe they're not taking an off angle currently. They started from the off angle, but now they went back to the front line. But imagine, because they have this aggressive position here, it is also might be HP trade which is happening. I think it's so much more worth it to bubble, and that's why you can also, if you like to, really try to communicate it with your teammates, because when we're using more valuable bubbles like this, you also allow ourselves to build the stacks and build a bit more pressure too. So this is what I think. Yeah, it's just making sure that there's constant Yeah, let's just go back a little bit, yeah? When we use this bubble here, it's on 12 seconds. That's pretty long cooldown, so... Just need to make sure that we use it for better opportunities. Probably the magic wine of this would be okay, based on what they do, at least. Yeah, after that, it seems that we, again, let me see what we bubbled there.
Yeah, in that moment, I tried to bubble magic, and I
Ah,
think I
yeah.
misclick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then this would be okay potentially, decision-wise, yeah? You're just making sure that we aim at them. I think might be okay. Unfortunately, it landed on the Emma though. But honestly, any of those magic, Iron Fist, would be much better target based on the positioning and the HP. With HP, it's really... Once it starts going towards the huff, you know, that they take damage, then it's gonna be okay most of the time. This is what you gotta be aware of. It's always making sure that there's pressure happening right now, and then after that we can enable somebody. Okay, okay, does it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So let's just keep watching. I think we yeah, this can be pretty decent positioning here. By the way, this could also be potential bubble right now. If you know there's pressure, this HP drops right now. I know that the position of this guy is pretty aggressive by the enemy team right now. Well, your invisible woman also taking that slight off angle too, so they might receive a little bit more pressure. So this is okay to also peel, but really, you don't have to overthink about it. Like, do I have to peel with a bubble? So do I have to enable aggression? Honestly, just always keep an eye on anybody who is the most active right now. Whoever is going to receive the most pressure, and you do bubble them, because you still might trade the backlines. Let's say you bubble the magic, maybe your Invis is dead, but because you bubble the magic, maybe they're able to get the support too. Who knows? It's just gonna be better pressure. If you don't see that opportunity, then hopefully you can bubble your teammate. But mostly it's gonna be more of a enable some damage from your teammates first. So this way it will be easier. Yeah, using the stacks here, bubble on us, kind of makes sense here, because your HP drops, you know that the enemy team is more aggressive, and you also have frontline position too. So you see how the stacks are building? Yeah, at this point, yeah, well, we, we might just receive a lot of pressure, so have to fall back too, that's okay. And, well, you guys got a pick on this. On the Black Panther. Let's see how this turns out for us. The bubble is fine there. Let's see. Just, yeah, not forgetting. I think the mechanically it works out okay. Use your stacks. Yeah, usually the bubble after. Yeah, like here, your stacks are back. And you can throw it again. It's just anybody who is being the most active on the enemy team, really. Yeah. Okay, and with ultimate to stabilize, destroy the drone. Yeah. Yeah, you guys got a lot of space in there. Really good to just be patient with the bubbles overall too. But right now, you in this sort of more poke phase, so it's okay for you to kind of use it a little bit early if you know there's gonna be some spam damage coming in, like you're expecting. Oh, maybe there are a lot of people shooting me and we have time before the brawl phase, before both teams are gonna be on top of each other. So it can be okay to use the bubble like this. Hopefully you can build the stacks. If not, then you get your bubble back after. So it's not too bad, I think. Like here, it's hopefully, yeah, 100% should be fine. Bubble here, well, just in case. Maybe if they're too low HP, fine. It's also, again, more of a poke phase bubble, because they lost Black Panther. So if they really commit, they're at disadvantage. But when the brawl phase is gonna start, then we're making sure that there is enough... Yeah, there's enough opportunities for us to use the bubble. For example, now, yeah, your team starts brawling, but you gotta be thinking, who do we bubble at this point of time? Yeah, so we bubble Amar, but what are your thoughts? What should you bubble at this point of time? What is the preference for you?
Now that you mention it, probably the magic, because she has the more potential to kill somebody.
Maybe.
Emma can definitely kill somebody with her ult, but Magic, I think in the spam of Emma's ult, Magic can get at least 2 kills.
Yeah, this is what I think too. Maybe if the Emma is using ultimate and there's nothing else happening, your magic's not going in, I think it's okay to use the bubble on her. But to be honest, because this guy is also using ultimate, I think there's gonna be a slightly higher preference. Just enable them going aggressive. And realistically, your Emma, if you're able to track the cooldowns, let me just go back to it. Okay, wait. For some reason it's skipping. Okay, now it's good. If we look at the defensive cooldowns, they still got plenty. I think the biggest thing for you to watch out for is whenever they have their diamond form, whenever they have their shield, yeah, making sure that you're kind of being mindful about it, because if you do, if they do, then there's less chance that they might die, and there's better opportunity for you to just enable the magic, I think. Anyway, at this point we have to fall back. Yeah, sure. And right now, just keeping the enemy busy in the choke. Yeah, again, the next bubble is on Emma. Let's see if this is a good target for us. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
No, I think Iron Fist should get the bubble. He's trying to 1v1 the Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
Yeah,
And he can get, well, he can potentially get a kill on the Hawkeye. But also he can potentially be killed by the Hawkeye with a one shot.
exactly. I think it's just gonna be a slightly higher preference for us right now. The tank might be not a bad target, especially the brawl too. It's just you also have a lot of flank DPS right now, and it's always gonna be the preference. Anybody taking angles first, front line after, because those guys gonna do much more pressure. Okay, do you have any questions at the moment, or is everything clear?
Yeah, maybe should I be more aggressive on Magneto?
I'm not sure. What
What?
do you... Yeah, what do you think you can do? Like, what do you mean by the aggression? What should you do?
For example, should I try to walk in more with my Emma before the Moonlight ult, and also with the magic? Because watching it right now, I think I I'm bubbling the Emma more, maybe because I'm a little bit mm, less aggressive than she currently is playing.
So how you would
And
position then? Just walk past this choke a little bit more? Or
yeah, maybe not necessarily walk past the choke, but maybe a little bit more forward.
a little bit more forward? Because the thing is, as long as you have enough range, I think you're good. Like, around here, you have decent range, that's fine. The only thing is, just always try to keep that more of a sharper sightline, in a way, and not necessarily have to play out in the main doorways, or just overall in the main. You can always try to take that more sharp sightline. For example, if I expect the enemy to go left side and hide around this building, then I can take the right a little bit. If they not reachable for me, then I start taking space. But if they are pushing me, then I can fall back and keep the sharp sideline. Or for example, if the enemy is on the right side here, taking the left angle in that case, for that reason, is not bad too. You're just pushing the enemy out, anybody who is hiding around the buildings. You're kind of predicting where they're gonna go, and then it's gonna go easier, I think. So honestly, even in this case, maybe it can be okay for you to think, if this guy's walking forward, they're gonna apply pressure on me. What is my next spot? Yeah, where I'm gonna pull back towards. I think if you have enough range, you can even think about this rotation here also. But honestly, this is also okay right now. You guys have the Invis ultimate here, so might be worth it to just play inside it. So maybe if we didn't have it or something, then could be possible. Trying to destroy the drone. Yeah, sure. Thor is going for the ultimate. Just keep the pressure up. But I see what I mean. It's just because you it might seem that we're not doing too much in sort of like brawling, but you shouldn't. I think as long as you choose the right target, you have a decent range, and hopefully using that sharper sideline, I think it will be okay overall. Like, for example, even in here, you're trying to fall back and keep the people busy towards this choke, right? But then I'm thinking, what is that space I can walk towards? So I can have this mid-range and sharper sideline. Meanwhile, should you keep playing the main side here? Or could you go anywhere else to make sure that...
I,
is? Mhm.
I think I should be going to the left more, not to the right, because Thor can push me out of the map
Mhm.
in this particular map of the game. But maybe I can play more to the left, take a little bit more natural cover, and also maybe potentially get a sharper angle in the healers and the DPS.
I think so too. Probably the left sideline would be okay. If you really need to, you can touch afterwards, because you guys need to play for the time on the objective. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking when we're falling back, so you also have the options to maybe trade the backline a little bit more. Might be worth it. Yeah, at this point, you guys just need to stabilize Magneto ultimate, sure. Okay. Using our shield there, sustain. All of that is fine. I think this is good. The ultimate makes sense. You took the time, you stabilized, just maybe move towards the sharpest sideline, and it would be good. Overall, really decent map, I think. It's just a little bit more attention with the target priority, what my bubble is on, and keep the sharp sideline going. Maybe I'll write it down this way. Yeah, does it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of that. Okay, sharp sideline, bubbles. Yeah, let's keep watching. Oh, for some reason it always skips to this guy. Huh. Now we
I think it's by default. It goes to the
yeah.
blue team.
I just did choose you and for some reason still skips to this guy. Well, anyway, starting out dealing with the main, sure, can be
I
okay.
mean, at the with Magneto, usually what I try to do, well, depends on the situation, but usually I try to go into that high ground that you have your crosshair right now,
Oh yeah.
and maybe try to get a little bit of poke damage on the healers and the DPS.
Yeah, I like that much more, to be honest. It's just you not the brawl tank on this Amma. It can be okay to just push from corner to corner, sit on the front line, but you're more of a poke tank, longer range tank. So I think any of those options, the right side, the left side, you basically do the same, but because you're on this another angle, let's just take this kind of soft off angle. This is how I would put it. Take soft off angle. We don't have as much mobility, but we just playing still taking some sort of attention of the enemy. But while team walks forward, we can be left, we can be right, and this makes it easy for everybody to walk forward. And hopefully, because you on the angle, then this will make it easy for you to bubble the right person. This is another thing which you might have, because when you're in the main, there just might be too many targets in front of you. But if I'm to the side like this or this, then there's a chance that you bubble the right person. It's easier for you to do so, and at the same time, better poke for you, divert the enemy attention. I think I can maybe show you something. Some of the guys been playing Magneto before the pro play. Maybe there are some good examples. I think I talked about just constant angles to making sure that we are on some sort of softer angles. Okay, open up the angle. What about this one? Let me take a look. I just saved a few videos. Maybe this one will do. Okay, maybe this one as well. Yeah, Fincy. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure which one is the best, but let me take a look. Maybe this one is good, to be honest. Yeah, this one is okay. I know this player here. This is Nevix. They're pretty good
Oh,
on the
yeah,
Mac.
no,
Yeah, this is Groot for a little bit, but then after that they will be swapping to the Magneto. Yeah. The Groot is more of a brawl tank, and the Mac, you can just take the softer sidelines. And you will see, even though they have this just one tank in position, it's still possible, because your job as a tank is not to sit with your team, it's just try to make sure there's more attention towards you. Take the sharper sideline, this is going to be okay. We see them exactly doing that quite a lot. They will almost never try to go on the main, they will try to fight for the best positions possible, like here. They start with the high ground, so they have options what to do. Have the soft triangle on the point, potentially. Well, if my team goes really on this main route, then I can sit here, provide the poke, and yeah, always saw the sharper angle. You see, some of my teammates actually went main, but I don't want to always be there. I want to keep the attention on the soft angles. Even this main, you still can differentiate between being here and being slided to the left, being slided to the right, just find some sort of soft angle. What a lot of the Mag players can do as well, in my opinion, is try to peek shoot around the corners a little bit more. Whenever you take the sharp sideline, you don't necessarily have to show yourself quite a lot. That's what you see. If this is possible for you to do, then you're gonna go for it. Let me see. I think once they take this high ground, there's gonna be sort of the same too. It's just we developed a lot of the pressure here. We're not gonna be exactly sitting on the point. They kind of look around the check. Somebody can be on the point. Hopefully somebody with a long range capabilities or some sort of mobility, they can push the card. You usually shouldn't. You kind of trying to take the soft angle, like we see here. After the enemy is pushed up, we need to take more space, so it might be even okay to go on this high ground, maybe. Let's see what they do. And just at this point, it's also just being on the main a little bit to just get the poke damage done is fine. I see they're exactly breaking the ceiling, so they're able to move on this right side later and have the softer angle. The rest of their team seems to be contesting these angles too. Some of them, at least. Whoever we expect to take angle, like Psylocke, the Punisher, so really not too bad. The same thing here. You just don't want to be on the main, be somewhere else, I would say. There's not gonna be like this poke guy who's sitting with you, but this is fine because mostly you have bubbles for them. You can always use the bubble from your position. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I think I actually went on main in that moment because in my head, I thought that we could kill the Thor in time because he was overextended.
Ah.
So I thought that between Emma and myself we could kill the Thor, but I think I may overestimate our offensive capabilities.
Yeah, it's always kind of tough versus those staff characters. They might sort of bait you to push, and then you dropped in not unfavorable spot. Whenever they have mobility, watch out. Usually don't assume they're gonna die instantly. That Thor was just one dash, which resets every 2 seconds. They didn't change that, right? So yeah, it just resets real quick. Yeah, the dash, how many?
Yeah.
How many it is?
It's,
so they done.
I think it's 3 swings on the left click.
Oh yeah. So it's not
dashes.
even. Yeah, it's not even. Yeah. You're right.
I mean, that's how I usually try to manage the cooldown on Thor's dash. I mostly hold in left click, well R2 in my case, and when I count 3 swings, I know that I have another dash in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So just, especially at the start of the fight, you need to be really careful. They have that mobility most likely, so might be not worth it. We're just kind of in the middle of the action, and there's some parts of the action could be diverted towards us sitting here. By the way, you still can play on the edge of the ultimate and receive that too. If they're gonna be using a whiz, it's gonna be fine. You just keep poking. If you really need to contest the point afterwards, then drop, but before the fight, I don't think it's gonna be the most suitable. Yeah, it's really tough. Anyway, let's see. Now we are gonna start the second fight. A little bit of poke, sure. Also, what about the bubbles? This is the time when you have that poke phase. You can just use the stacks, bubble something, and after that you can think about whatever. Yeah, let's actually write it down. So bro phase, a bubble active teammate. Bubble active teammate. And in the poke phase, use, so it's gonna use stacks, a bubble for cheap damage, and after that use stacks again. But you want to make sure that you have the bubble for the brawl phase. Yeah, make sure that this is gonna be something in the fight. You have bubble for the brawl phase, because this is the most important. It's kind of the same idea as we would do in Overwatch. There's a Zarya, if you remember, they also have 2 bubbles, and even though you're playing the poke character here, it's just so important that I'm able to enable all of this. Yeah, not bad bubble on the Iron Fist. Unfortunately, they're kind of going out there, so... Yeah, anyway, they're under big pressure, so it's definitely gets us value. I would just still think about the sharpest sideline. You're walking forward, go a little bit right, maybe take the high ground over here, take it top left if you really have time to. It's not too bad, I think.
So, so even if we are taking a lot of space, like in this situation,
Yeah, if you do, I think you can keep walking main, but then make sure that it's not taking you too much time where you're not affected by the ultimate. Like in this case, we're taking space, right? But you have time to kind of go towards the right side a little bit, the sharp sideline. I'm still can sit inside the ultimate. I would definitely don't do this. If there is no ultimate and we're not taking too much space, we don't have too much advantage right now for whatever reason, then taking the top left would be better usually. I don't know. Just most of the people when they GM, like I said before, they're not using this idea, but honestly, especially the pro play, there's a reason why they do it. It's just because it always provides more pressure, more continuous pressure. You have more potential to do stuff. Kind of the same what we talked about with you and Doctor Strange. Obviously, with this character, you don't have ability, but yeah. If we're able to, then we can walk. Okay. Using Thor ultimate, hopefully might sneak in some value with ours, but a little bit difficult, yeah, I think. Just not too many targets. At the same time, it's not too bad to think about your ultimate like a tool which allows you to zone out people as well. I just think, do you need to use the ultimate in the first place, just based on this fight overall? What do you think? How it feels?
No. No, because there's only Thor, the enemy Thor ult going on, and actually that I'm watching at it, there's not much else going on.
Yeah, I think you guys have better advantage too. By the way, keeping an eye on this might be the preference. Just the Moon Knight, anybody who's taking off angles, you can easily push them away. The Invis, the Moon Knight. Hopefully after that, well, maybe we can shoot these guys, but just whatever is the most dangerous, really. Put your attention on them. Just seems that we lost this Moon Knight a little bit, and then with Woman too. But I think it's just probably still can hold the ultimate for now. You have an advantage. Hopefully we can have it for the next fight after. It should be much better for us. Okay. And this is the time where you can think about the position and just how do you set up. I think doing a little bit poke before the fight is good. But also, what do you think if you just take the stop right away? Why not maybe sitting here? Or I don't know. Maybe... Yeah, what are your thoughts actually?
I think top left is more convenient because it's an easier angle for my healers to heal me if in the case that I need to, and also I can still poke the enemy backline. However, if I took the right lane, I'm potentially behind this column to my right. And I think I will be forcing my healers into a really bad position overall.
Yeah. I'm thinking really just trying to find it's either the right or the left side. I know it's a bit difficult to walk out early, but I also have possibility to just sit here, maybe shoot somebody in the main. Anyway, we kind of not expecting a lot of kills going on, but if they're gonna be, you can always drop, I think. And the right side, maybe from here also can be okay as well. I think you can just always decide for yourself what is the best. I usually prefer, I always tell people that the power positions like this are better, generally speaking, because you have options, but then afterwards you can decide. If the entire team is on the left side, then let's walk right lane. If they're on the right, then this is a good lane for us, I think. This left side, I can just walk from here and see everybody. Hopefully, this can be fine. Just make sure you do that before the fight starts. You have the position. And this now also will make it easy for you to just to deal with all of this stuff too. If there's Moon Knight taking an angle, I can push them off, hopefully. I'm not exactly brawling on the point anymore. This is okay. It just feels that we're kind of sitting on the point like a brawl tank. Maybe on Strange, you can do that a little bit more. Groot, Emma, but I think on the Mac you need to keep the distance. Especially when you know the fight is about to start, it's always viable. Like we saw with the Nevix. We're taking an angle away from the point. We just usually don't want to sit on the cart most of the time. You give the enemy team a dilemma. They either have to deal with you or the cart. You have enough range. There's no there's no advantage in being too close, basically. I'm thinking this way. Yeah, well, we mentioned quite a lot. The resources, a little bit of positioning, the timing of the bubbles, stuff like that. Maybe let's summarize first, and
Okay.
if you have any questions, let's go over those too. But yeah, what do you feel like
Okay,
you learned
so
today?
with Magneto, now that he can use two bubbles instead of one, with my bubble management, I should start thinking about enabling more active teammates. For example, as we talked earlier in the first round, if there's a magic or an Iron Fist uh, or any other diver actively trying to get a kill on the enemy backline, it's more valuable to bubble them because one of two things: they can either get a kill or they can survive for longer, potentially force the enemy team to use more resources or even get a kill. And also, they can survive in that team fight. If there also the HP component is really important to when it comes to target priority with the bubbles. Also, trying to take more soft angles with Magneto, and so I can get a better angle to the target that I'm trying to shoot at. And also, as we said with Strange in previous sessions, take more power positions, high ground, not trying not to be in main as often.
I am not the man I used to be. I have found a greater
And
cause.
yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm not missing any other concept. One question is, as I said in the notes that I sent you. Also, now that you are doing it, the peak, how do you call it? Peak
Big shooting, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. uh, uh, it's the same as shoulder picking. It's the same concept, pick shooting and shoulder picking.
You're talking about, are you referring to Overwatch, or?
Yeah, it's a concept that I've heard in other games, but I'm not sure if it's the same or it's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Well, this idea is usually for any high burst characters with downtime between the shots. Let's put it this way. Because I have the downtime, like, I'm not just gonna sit here and always shoot. I can always kind of do a little bit of this. Yeah, this can be frequent. AD strafe, kind of, but still, I'm able to do this peak shooting. Ideally, it's gonna be peak, shoot, peak, shoot, hide, peak, shoot, hide, peak, shoot, hide. Make sure there's still good uptime with that. It's just gonna be minimizing your hitbox at all times. And also allows you to take more aggressive corner, meanwhile. It's always viable with a high burst character like Hala. You see that a lot. It's not necessary for you to just play in the open like this, but I can just peek, shoot, peek, shoot, peek, shoot. Like that, yeah? A little bit more, yeah? It's usually gonna be done with the high guns too. You see a lot of the Halas, they, for example, I take this high gun, instead of me just holding this way, where the enemy see a lot of my hitbox, I can kind of move forward, move backwards a little bit. Yeah, oh, sorry, I messed it up. But yeah, anyway, this is just a lot of the Halas do this sort of stuff. They kind of peek, shoot, peek, shoot. Yeah, I'm missing some of the shots, but yeah, you got the point. Yeah, this is mostly gonna be done for the high burst character, really. And on the Mag, you exactly have a lot of bursts, so why not? I think this can be quite okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, when it comes to, well, as I said in the notes, when there's not a clear counter for me to use the ult, for example, Iron Man ult, Cloak and Dagger, maybe Hela, should I try to engage with my ult more often when it comes to Magneto?
Yeah, I think this is fine, honestly. It's just always good to think about the initiation. Why not? You're gonna get a lot of the space and make the enemy team hide. I think the higher you go, those type of ultimates where you have a lot of burst potential, it's really good that you zone out the enemies in unfavorable positions. So if I'm able to ult as Mag, and they're gonna hide behind the buildings or something in the space where my team can push, I think this is always valuable. Just make sure they're kind of walking into your space and you're good. It's just kind of the same idea as they make a commitment. And then I answer. The question is what they make a commitment with. They can make a commitment with ultimate, which you can deny. Sure, this is great value. But you can also deny positional commitment too, if there's no ultimate which they commit. So it just can be really, really good this way. Trying to zone out the enemy team a little bit more. Hopefully you can get a kill. If not, then, well, you take that. But most of the time we should be able to, I think. And it will be alright. At least force out a lot of the defensive resources. Can be quite good. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah? Any more questions?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Nice. Okay. Then, if you're gonna have any questions later on, let me know. Let's try this out. Timing with the bubbles, target priority. Let's see how the progress is gonna go. And we'll see. All the topics, maybe we can focus on the ultimates a little bit more. Team compositions, we still have it on our list. And maybe a little bit of tempo if we need to. But yeah, from what I see, compositions can be the preference. Alright. Then I think we're good to end the session. Is there anything else? Any last questions or?
No, I think that's it for today.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Then
perfect.
I will see you later and good luck in the games.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.